So how's the married life, bro?
Yeah, married life is good, man. Married life is good. Yeah. So where we at? 3 months. It'll be 3 months and no,
3
not
months?
3 months. I'm sorry, 2 months.
Ooh, y'all right at the icing.
Yeah, in December. Yeah, it'll be 2 months in a couple days.
Okay.
So yes, excited. Just enjoying the moment.
Hey, did y'all do that thing where y'all froze the top of your cake?
We did.
Yeah,
we did. It's in the freezer right now. I've just been like, why is this in here? But I guess that's the thing. I'm not questioning it too much.
There you go.
I don't
First rule of marriage.
Yeah, I don't want to start no unnecessary arguments.
Not yet, brother.
Hey,
Save your battles.
If the cake needs to be there for a year,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just put the rest of this stuff outside. It's okay.
When you in 12 months and on your anniversary, when you taste it, you will question. You will be like,
it tastes like boo boo.
I like fresh cake. I mean,
oh, it is not fresh.
No, not a bit.
It is not. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor. Today, we're going to find out how you can sell your home and buy one at the same time. Also, refinancing may be back in 2024. We got the DMV real estate report, real estate hot or not, and we're going to jump into the comment section. Welcome to the Real Estate Wire, folks. Why do we always wait that beat as if the music is like actually...
You hear the music though.
Like,
we've been doing it for a year.
I know, because we like put the music in our head. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor.
Coach Marcus, what's up, y'all?
And today we got a special guest, Issiah Hazward. What's up, brother?
What's up? Glad to be
here. What up, dog?
I just want to add a boom to that.
Oh.
Yeah. Because before I thought your name was Issiah Howard for like 10 years. But it's actually Hazward. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Thanks for jumping on, man.
I'm glad to be here. No better place to be right now.
Dude, you're like a rock star, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
But he's a silent killer.
He's
man.
like a
quiet, behind the scenes, but making a lot of noise.
We just get in the trenches, get to work, come back out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I love it. Where you came from, bro?
PG County, man. So born and raised PG County. You talking about where did I drive from today?
No, all at birth. Where were you?
Yeah.
Started day one.
So born and raised PG County. There's not a lot of realtors that that service this area that are actually from this area. So Dan is from this area as well. So one of few.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. So born and raised here. Went to Roosevelt for high school. Eleanor Roosevelt for high school. Morgan State for college. And moved back here after college and got into real estate.
Yeah.
We gotta give you the quick test though, right?
What's that?
Forestville or Iverson Snickerdoodle?
Forestville, man. I'm gonna say Greenbelt. Greenbelt is a undiscovered place for snickerdoodles, and everybody wants to take that long drive to Iverson Mall and go pick up some snickerdoodles. And let's just say it's a mission to get out there, successfully get those cookies and get back. God. Greenbelt, you pop into the to the little side entrance of Beltway Plaza. You get your snickerdoodles, they warm them up for you, and you go about your day. And I think they even have better pricing. So,
hey, listen.
How you trying to close us on Greenbelt?
He did.
He tried to close us with the 1, 2, 3.
Because
it's not as far away. They warm them up for you.
But now we got to try. Now we got.
You think so?
The man.
See, here's the thing.
It's fine.
Nobody.
You're the only person that actually has ever said anything to me about Greenbelt.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple people.
Because Kid said that it was Iverson.
Yeah, of course.
And y'all were on the same page.
Yeah.
I ain't got no.
We had somebody else from Iverson. I don't remember who else.
Yeah, it was somebody else. But like Iverson winning, like hands down.
Well, I mean,
you throw Greenbelt in
the most logical. This is actually borderline heresy, bro. Like, I'm offended. It's like
when you born and raised here, you know all the ins and outs. So like I've heard about the Iversons. We've experienced that.
But where though specifically did you grow up? Now I really need to know that.
I grew up all over. Up in Marlboro.
See, that's the problem right there.
Landover, Laurel.
So you been all around.
I've been all around.
So that makes sense then, because for somebody to say Iverson is far, that's like making me think, okay, because nobody say Iverson far. Most people say, you'll probably say like Forestville is far. It's like I never all the way up to Forestville.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I never heard anybody say Iverson was far.
Yeah.
Well,
all of us far. That's a mission trip for real.
You from the country, bro.
That's for sure.
But you know what you can do if you're far away and you want to come in closer? You can sell your house and then you can buy a house at the same time.
Great one.
Segue.
That's a B plus. That's a B plus.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
man.
Coach.
Come on up to the county, man.
Hey.
Listen, before we go into that, I just want to say there's absolutely nothing that y'all can do to get me to move to Maryland. Y'all can't give me a house as a primary residence and for nowhere in Maryland.
You assuming like we want you up here.
He said come on to the county.
We didn't vote on that. We didn't vote on that. You're not the mayor.
Okay, that's good.
We got to get a consistency. You have not been invited.
Maryland's the wild, wild west for me, I guess.
What? I mean, yeah, it is got a lot of
it is wild.
Well, I'm Moco now, so I mean it's wild out here too.
It ain't as wild. It ain't as wild.
No, that's
go across other bridges.
Well, in Prince George's County, there is a low supply, just like there is everywhere else. And if you're thinking about selling your house, you may have heard this article begins about the supply and demand challenges that we're going through. Supply is still low right now, and that means your house, when you do decide to put it on the market, is going to stand out to buyers who are craving more options. But, and I'm sure you're probably hearing this, Isaiah, I've been hearing it since like 2019. The question that you may be wondering is when you sell, which is going to benefit you on the selling side, the lack of inventory, because you're going to sell probably pretty quickly. How does the current supply impact your move? So when you actually move, where you're going to actually buy, you're going to be back in that low inventory pool. And you may find the home that you want, but the inventory is still low. One thing that can help you in your next move is exploring all your options, including both homes that have been lived in and newly built ones. So what have you been seeing as far as like what I guess you would call move up buyers? I don't really like calling them move up buyers.
Yeah.
But where have you seen as far as people who are buying their houses and then or selling their house and then want to buy their house? What options have you seen really working for people?
Yeah. So what I'll say about that is that the planning process for move up buyers, there's a lot more prep time than there was before, just because you're planning for that low inventory. You know what you're walking into. It's not a surprise. Like in this market, before interest rates even came up to the levels they're at now, inventory has been low. But I believe, because they're at a more significant, decrease at this point, you have to plan and get an idea of, what market you want to move into and start making those, relationships with maybe off-market opportunities. Get familiar with what new construction products are out there so that you can have an edge on the market when you do decide to make that jump.
I like it. Do you have a playbook, so to speak? That you run your clients through?
Absolutely.
Of course I know. But what's that like? Kind of, you don't have to give give away all the sauce, but like, was it?
Yeah, give away all the sauce.
Yeah, no. This is I like to call it. This is like 03 Belichick playbook. We just scoring and we're gonna keep scoring and scoring. Get walk away with a ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like when we're talking about, that playbook, I mean, first and foremost, it starts with education. Education, not only on the process, but on the market itself. Like it's a mover market out here, and you have to be prepared for the current circumstances. You have to be willing to be agile, to adjust to the marketplace so that you can take the best advantages of what the market gives you. And from there, what we're at that point, we're just trying to figure out timelines and, different strategies that we need to take into consideration, whether it is setting up some off-market campaigns or whether it is, aligning ourselves with some new construction reps that are allowing us to get in front of some inventory before the next phase is released. Just different strategies, because at the end of the day, this is a relationship-based business. And the better relationships you have, the easier this process becomes. And that's what we're all about, making sure that, not only we're providing the best service, but our team around us, from the inspectors to our off-market reps to lenders, and everybody is performing their best.
Yeah. I love that, bro.
Strong.
So here's the process. Let's say you want to sell your house. All right. You call Dan, or you call Isaiah, or you call 123 Banana Real Estate, whatever. Say I want to sell my house. First thing that person is probably going to do, that agent, if they're prudent, is they're going to do an equity review on your property. See how much you owe minus how much you can sell it for. Then at that point, you look at the comps and you figure out, hey, okay, where do you want to live ideally? Like, what's your what are you looking for? Are you looking to move up? You looking for a bigger house? You got a bunch of kids and a dog and a mother-in-law? Are you looking for, we figure out exactly what you're trying to, or are you trying to downsize? You just looking for everybody moved out. You trying to get like a little small condo or something like that. And then we figure out where you're trying to go next. At that point, you simply put your property on the market, you sell it, and then you're going to go start looking for your house, right? So now you can either do one or two ways, which is probably the easiest way is to start looking for a house while your property's on the market. That's the easiest way to do it. The problem is sometimes you'll have buyers that don't, or you'll have sellers that don't want to take offers on accept contingent contracts.
Right.
Why, if the deal is strong, help me, because I run into it all the time where a buyer can't get under contract because they have a house to sell. But in this market, if the house, like you always say, if the house is priced right and it stays right, it'll sell, right?
Right.
So a seller not wanting to sell their home to a buyer contingent upon the sale of that buyer's home, I understand because that sale could fall through. I get it.
Yeah.
But why is there so much hesitation? Why do people even look at it and start to slow their brain down and just think of it in a little bit? No, with the market, if it put it on, it's going to sell.
Right.
Like, what is that hard pushback about?
Hard pushback from
the seller accepting.
Yeah. Well, it's a case-by-case scenario. I mean, every market is different. Brookland's different than Georgetown. Georgetown's different from Greenbelt. Greenbelt's different from Hyattsville. And it depends, what the inventory levels are looking like in that area. I mean, yes, some products are going to continue to sell fast during this time, but there's also a lot of product that have been sitting on the shelves. And I would say back in, 2020, 2019, 2018, sellers accepting a contingent offer on the home sale was almost like non-existent. Like it wasn't happening. It was like, hey, you might as well just go ahead and buy this house,
right?
Then just go sell your house.
They was coming up with like gap funding and all types of stuff because people just they weren't going for it.
Yeah, a lot of different alternatives and everything like that. Yeah. But now, I mean, when we're having that conversation with buyers that need to sell their house to buy this next one, it's like, hey, in order for us to get the best chances of this, let's go ahead and target the opportunities that have been sitting on the market for a while because, they need to sell their homes. They don't have anything in hand. Let's take the shot, beat them up on price a little bit, and, let's go ahead and get what we need from this deal.
Yeah, so
that's some Dan Willard verbiage. Beat them up on price.
Yeah,
I've heard you say stuff like that. Like y'all have y'all lingo that works, and y'all know what that means. Beat them up on price. That just means like whatever they're selling it for.
Yeah, just chop them down a little bit. I mean, that's the thing, about real estate that I really like to explain is real estate. It's a wave, man. It's a constant wave, and you would never plan your next move on where the wave was at.
Right.
Right. Even the water molecules inside that wave are constantly moving around. So, like you said, 2 years ago, nobody was accepting contingent offers. Not going to happen. Lenders came up with gap fund and all this stuff. Because if I got 15 other people sending me offers and yours is contingent on the sale of another property that may or may not go from a buyer that I don't even know.
Right.
And this guy got all cash and they're $100,000 over. Like, it's just like, so that wave was like pretty much non-existent at that point. Now it's like,
it changed from why take that risk to, hey, if we don't accept this offer, what risk are we really taking?
What you gonna do?
Yeah,
exactly. That's a good question.
Right.
I got another question for y'all. Before you, I was talking about the different loan programs and rates and the flow and process, and there's this narrative about conventional loans versus your FHA or government loans, and not accepting the government loans more than you'll accept the conventional.
Right.
I need somebody to tell me, number one, y'all as realtors created that narrative.
I don't know who created that narrative.
I don't know either. Nah, yo, I don't know who created that myth, bro.
We ain't created.
You know what I think? You know what I think could have contributed to it though? The FHA appraisal.
Yeah. Okay,
that to me
because it sticks
That could be the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Okay. So they okay, but that doesn't involve. So that means that the seller would be conscious of what that value, how that value is sticking to their property for so long, and they're conscious of what it's doing to their overall neighborhood, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, as we all know, like appraisals are subjective. So, like, you don't want to get stuck with an appraisal from an appraiser that just had a bad cup of coffee and is coming out to the appraisal property. They just not feeling it today, and you stuck with that for 6 months over one day.
I hate that. Yeah.
What's the worst appraisal inspection that you can remember?
Oh man, yeah. So there was this property in Brooklyn. I believe we were under contract for like $725. We waive appraisal. This is a time where we're waiving all contingencies and everything. So we waived the appraisal and everything. And this appraiser, I don't know what he had going on that day, but comp supported the value. We're real confident. Comps could support value upwards of 750. Appraisal comes back in at like 625. So first thing we're doing is, we're calling this lender like, what's up with your guy? Like,
Hey, yo.
can we, can we get, can we get this fixed? I mean, let's get another appraiser out here. So long story short, we ended up getting another appraiser out there. Buyers understood, kept them calm, and that second appraisal came in more than value. So no money out of pocket for the buyers, no extra money out of pocket for the buyers, or anything like that. But yeah, that was a very interesting. Very interesting circumstance.
Have you seen the whitewash effect happen on some of your appraisals?
Talk to me about that.
Where a black family or a minority family owns a home, and the value is, that the value is there, but the value comes in low, and then they say, let's get another appraiser out here, and they take all their pictures and all their stuff down, and the value comes back in higher. That there's been a couple of national and even local examples of that. But have you seen that personally?
I haven't seen that firsthand. Now, what I have seen, and I won't name the bank, but I have seen circumstances where a bank wouldn't take into consideration comps within the same mile radius because they felt like other properties were in a better income bracket, stuff like that. A lot of politics, and they didn't really have a good answer for it other than, hey, we're going to find something else that's just a little bit 2 miles away that it maybe fits the mold better here, but didn't make sense. But yeah,
and I'm asking you these questions because I know that you get a lot of reps and opportunities. Coalition that gives away millions of dollars, and and you all do a lot of units, and you serve a lot of people, and y'all expanded your footprint up north. Is that something y'all can? Well, y'all released it online, so can you talk about it and share what y'all are doing?
Yeah, just with the expansion of Philly. Yeah. So recently, we expanded to the Philly market. Great market. A lot of opportunity out there, and the idea behind that was, the coalition is much bigger than just the DMV. We want to continue to expand, and it's all about finding the right partners up there. So our guy Jerry, has been a well-experienced agent in the Philly market for some time, and stars aligned, and it just made it happen. So excited to continue to get that market up and running and take it to the next level.
That's good. Really good. Proud of y'all.
Thank you.
Dude, that's tight, man. So how's the married life, bro?
Yeah, married life is good, man. Married life is good. Yeah. So where we at? 3 months. It'll be 3 months not 3 months. I'm sorry, 2 months.
Ooh, y'all right at the icing.
Yeah, in December. Yeah, it'll be 2 months in a couple days.
Okay.
So yes, excited. Just enjoying the moment.
Hey, did y'all do that thing where y'all froze the top of your cake?
We did.
Yeah,
we did. It's in the freezer right now. I've just been like, why is this in here? But I guess that's I'm not questioning it too much.
There you go. First rule of marriage.
Yeah, I don't want to start no unnecessary arguments.
Not yet, brother. Save your battles.
If the cake needs to be there for a year, okay.
Yeah, we'll just put the rest of this stuff outside. It's okay.
When you in 12 months on your anniversary, when you taste it, you will question. You will be like,
it tastes like boo boo.
I like fresh cake. I mean,
oh, it is not fresh.
No, not a bit.
It is not.
The place that we got our cake from, I can't remember the name of the place in Reston Town Center, but because of this whole tradition about to freeze the top of the cake, thing, they were like, cake's gonna be horrible in the year. So what they do is they say, part of what you pay for is the top. We'll make you a fresh piece.
Oh, that's great.
A year from now, just come back.
Yeah, that's
like that's
That's not the same thing, though.
Listen, I ain't care. That cake was
if
so
you love
good.
your wife, you'll eat this stale cake.
She didn't want it. She didn't want it. Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
How much do you love me? Eat this stale zero cake.
That was, it had a lemon curd and a pineapple curd. That was banging.
It was banging.
Oh man, listen, wedding cake usually is horrible.
We had a black and white cake because my wife white, so we had a black and white cake. You get it?
It was marble.
It was marble. Because the both of us, you feel me?
Yeah.
And then our cake topper, we had to search for like 3 months for this specific cake topper with a black person and a white person, like for the cake topper. It took a long time, bro. They don't make that many.
Not on Amazon?
Nah, even on Amazon, bro. I think they're trying to tell us something.
We trying to make it specific to like her hair color and stuff?
Nah, just black and white, bro. Cake toppers. Google it. There's like 3 on Earth.
But you can't show it with a blonde-haired lady on your cake topper.
Correct.
So it had to be specific to.
Correct. That was hard, bro.
Yeah.
Pause. But we got it, and it's still in my house right now.
That's dope.
We didn't eat that though. You know what you can't eat? Those savings from a refinance. So it looked like refinance about to be back in 2024. What you got in the coach's corner, coach?
Yes, sir. Values have gone up, average of about 15% over the last couple of years, year over year, and we've been exploding in values. I think this year they estimated our increases should probably be 3 to 5%, a little bit more on the normal side. So with the increase of the value and your loan balance is going down every month, you're paying principal and interest. There's true equity there. So if you have a higher interest rate, which you probably do have somewhere in the 7s, some people have even got 8% interest rates over the last 12 months or so. As these rates continue to drop, because we're now entering into the 6% range, so you'll be able to refinance, and it's a good idea to at least take a look at it, because if your interest rate can drop by at least half of a point, which is 0.5%, it's good to kind of at least look at it to see if there's any real savings there. Definitely, if you have 0.75 or 1% reduction in your interest rate, it's probably about a 90% good move to make. VA loans for veteran borrowers, we do something called an interest rate reduction streamline loan, where they have to pay on the mortgage for 7 months. There has to be 210 days elapsed, and the rate has to go down for by half of a point. And they can do a streamline refinance with all the closing costs built in, and the closing costs are really minimal, and you can do it in 2 weeks or something.
So let's say, for example, I got a $500,000 house.
Yeah.
Which I do. Let's say, for example, another person has a $500,000 house, and they got they got locked in 8%, and then they want to refi, just like on the napkin math. It don't gotta be exact. And they want to refi into 6. What are the closing costs on the refi? And then I guess I'm sure you probably couldn't calculate how much the difference in the mortgage is going to be. But what's the approximate amount for closing costs on the refi?
They can run you. It's not going to be as expensive as they were when you were buying the house. So your transfer taxes are reduced.
Right. So when you're buying a house, usually going to be like 3 plus. If you do 3.5, let's say 5,
anywhere from 3 to 5%.
4, so 9.
Well, I'm saying anywhere from 3 to, depending on your loan amount or your sales price, your total closing costs can sometimes be anywhere from 3 to 5% of the entire price.
And then on a 500, you're gonna drop like 40,000, open and close, like your down payment plus your closing costs.
Depending on what your down payment is, but
yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like on the back of a napkin math, about 40,000.
I wouldn't say 40,000. I would say probably 28 to 30. Right, 28 to 30,000. If you put down 3.5%, have your closing costs on a $500,000 home, you're saying somewhere about $30,000. Right?
Okay,
that's where you get to that 3% math. But on a refinance, if you were to refinance that $500,000 mortgage, because the value has gone up to $600,000 to $700,000 over the last few years, now your interest rate drops, but then your closing costs might be $7,000. It's really minimal, because you're not paying some of the closing costs you paid it when you purchased. you already own it, so you don't have to pay that again because there's nothing there's no tax
transfer
to
regulation,
transfer, right?
Okay.
You're the owner. Some of it can be streamlined, right? So
what that mean?
That means that you
people in the cheap seats.
So you have like a streamlined refinance where like there may not be an appraisal, right? Or there may be an appraisal. So you get an appraisal, then okay, the closing costs, can be rolled in. You don't get an appraisal, you pay your closing costs out of pocket. There's so many nuances to refinancing.
What's the benefit of getting an appraisal?
Because you'll know exactly what the value is based upon the current market conditions.
So you can choose to not get an appraisal. Why would somebody not want to get an appraisal?
Depending on what, like they may not have the necessary value in that. Like they talk with you all and you do a CMA and you say the value is probably not there, right? But you can drop your rate on an FHA loan from this 8% down to.
So the bank will approve it even if it ain't got the values. Like how they gonna
on a streamline? So streamline refinance is like if the deal makes sense because the mindset is, yeah, we're taking a risk here, right? So we're not gonna let you roll your closing costs in. You pay the closing costs at the table, but we know you've been paying the payment at the 8%, so we know you'll pay the payment at.
Oh, so they just guessing like, okay, close enough.
Nobody be guessing, but that's the thing. That's the thing on the VA loan that I was talking about. Like we know that the veteran's paying the higher interest rate,
right?
So they'll pay the lower rate. It's easy. They're saving money now, so there's no appraisal required. You roll the closing costs in, close it out in.
So what's the typical closing cost percentage?
I would say anywhere from 2 to 3%.
Okay, and you have to pay that out of pocket, right?
There are loans you will have to pay it out of pocket. There's loans you can roll it in.
Roll it in, meaning it'll come from the equity.
Right.
You finance that amount in your mortgage.
So we pay off the existing loan that you got. Take whatever closing costs are.
Spread it out.
No,
and then divide it up.
Put them together.
Oh, you put them together, and then when you pay it?
Every month.
So you divide it amongst the mortgage payment.
Monthly payment.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Okay. This is added to your
makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you for making that granular so that the listeners can understand. You know how.
I sit in the cheap seats, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And not to jump too far ahead, but like, what do you think this window of opportunity is for this refinance?
It's actually happening right now.
Yeah.
Because I just posted yesterday that a borrower with a 660 credit score doing an FHA loan, and not having to pay lender fees in terms of like commissions and things like that.
Right.
That interest rate with a 660 credit score was at 6.25 yesterday. If they chose, they say, look, I'm trying to get to the bottom of the barrel interest rate right now, so I will pay your lender commissions, right? I was offering 5.625 yesterday, just with a 660 credit score.
Wow.
And that ain't hard to get, right? But most clients, 680, 700, something like that. The higher your credit score, the lower the risk, and the lower the risk, the lower the interest rate. So, like, I'm here. Like,
so you can refi like the day after you buy the house. You can refi.
Technically, you can, but you can't take cash out, right?
Sure.
So if you're just chasing after the rate, so let's say new construction, you locked in a year ago at 8%, but then you finally went to settlement, in November. Now all the documents have been recorded and things like that. Now you can call the lender and be like, hey, I've been locked in for last year and my house is built, it's done. Can I refinance and get a lower rate? Yeah, there's programs for that. So,
so do you always got to pull cash out?
No.
So you can just leave it in the house, in the loan.
Yeah, you can.
What can you do?
We can you can keep your cash and your equity in the property.
Oh.
Yeah. So they'll try to get me. Not doing it.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Shout out to Cam and Mace because he'll be foolish when we get them on the show. Wallow and Gilly too is there's a bunch of jokers that we would love to have here or go there. I mean they did big time, but we dream big. So
yeah, let's go, Mace. Is Mace still big though? Because he's like a pastor now, right?
I don't know if he's still. I don't know.
He's still preaching.
I don't know. I don't know.
He
owed Diddy like $3 million. That's what Diddy said.
Nah, ain't believing nothing Diddy talking about.
You don't believe nothing Diddy say.
That's been a thing for a long time. Like,
really?
Yeah,
he blowing up now, yo.
Everybody knowing Diddy
block is hot.
Yeah, everybody coming out these streets now.
But I would say in terms of refinance, taking the cash out of the home, you got to look at both options. What does it look like to grab some cash and pull on that equity? What does it look like to keep it out? To just drop your interest rate, because the risk is elevated when you do a cash out, so the rate's going to be higher.
Right.
A little bit more, restrictions and guidelines you got to navigate through. But just do it if it makes sense. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So that's how I roll. That's all I got from the corner.
All right. Well, let's get into the DMV updated market statistic section. So every week I call it something different. So this week is the DMV updated market statistics segment. DMV market report. All right. So in the DMV, we got so I'd like to go over the numbers, Isaiah. And I'd like to hear your interpretation of these numbers.
Okay.
Let's see. Put your realtor, when I was in school, he said, put your thinking caps on. All right. New listings are down 19% from this time last year. New pendings are down 7% from this time last year. Closed sales are down 12% from this time last year. Median sold price is up 2.9% from this time last year. What do you think's going on, Isaiah?
My interpretation of that is we're in a holiday season. There's things that's just going to sit on the market a little longer. People taking vacations, people not. The market usually isn't as active around this time of the year. It's not saying business isn't getting done, but you're not going to see as many, as you saw like in May or September or something like that. And comparison to last year, I feel like there was a lot of sellers and buyers last year in the mindset of, or sellers in the mindset of, hey, let's try to get some, let's hopefully we didn't miss the wave too much, let's try to throw our property on the market. And we saw that sit for a while. So yeah, I feel like I think we are in a stage where hopefully the market is starting to rebound some. Yeah.
So what you think going to happen once they start dropping these interest rates, bro?
So, we got some good news so far, and I feel like we've all been saying it. Especially the realtors around the DMV, because sometimes there's this weird synergy between politics and real estate. And especially when you're in the DC market, you can kind of feel that. And we're going into an election year. Like, you got to make sure people's money is right, housing is right. And this is just a side effect of that. Like, I don't think you can successfully go into an election year and with high interest rates. It's like, hey, we need to change this. We need to change the people that's in control of that. But so I think this is hopefully the start of interest rates continuing to go down. But I do think it's just, it's part of the political game.
Yeah, they said they're going to drop the rates 6 times.
6 times, bro?
Yeah.
Over the next 12 months or whatever. And I'm like, I believe it if I see it.
Call it cat.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, if y'all do, cool. But at the same time, like I was saying a couple weeks ago, like, we're going to be excellent whether the rates are high or whether they're low. Right. And serve at the highest levels. Now, to their credit, inflation cooling off or whatever, the rates, we're seeing it. The rates are coming down.
But that's stupid, man. These dudes,
they are.
That's like you got high blood sugar, and then you take your insulin one time and be like, okay, I'm good. Let me go eat this box of candy bars now.
Right.
It's just gonna go right back up.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that we probably experienced a little bit of an uptick, but like we've been on a roll for like the past 3 weeks.
Dude, we need to stay. We need to stay at 8% for the next 3 years.
8% interest rates.
Yes, yo. We need to stay 8-7 for the next 3 or 4 years. I know it's tough medicine, but if we jump back this quick,
seven,
all this pent up demand, bro.
Seven, I think is fine, right? 8, it puts a lot of people on pause because the difference in a payment from 7% to 8%, it throws you out of certain neighborhoods.
It does. It does completely.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And if you're trying to get, let's say you get a second mortgage or a home equity line of credit, now you're talking 13-14%, even if you want to tap, touch the equity in that home. So 8% is I think is the dangerous spot. But I also believe that when this is a fact, y'all watch it, stamp this day or in the days we've been talking. Shut up, girl. Stamp the day that if we get into conventional interest rates, start seeing 6.8, 6.7, 6.5, it's going to be bananas like it was when it was 3%.
And bro, and then what's that gonna do?
Bump the prices up.
Exactly. And then what's that gonna do? Make it less affordable for people to buy homes.
I got it.
So
that's what I'm saying. 7%. That this high 6%, 7% range.
They need to be at like
that's where
8.
We should hang
8.5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it's at 8, 8.5, first-time home buyers are not going to have much of a chance. Like, I mean,
do they have a chance in a freaking overinflated, like multiple offer situation with people moving their equity and going $100,000 over the list price?
I don't think that's I don't think that's going to happen if they adjust the rates a little bit more. I don't think that's going to happen immediately. I definitely think that's a possibility in any market. When you're playing with those metrics, but we're talking about like first time home buyers. They're starting their careers early on, and that monthly payment could be a lot for them.
Yeah.
And like we've seen it here in the DC metro market, like back in 2018. 2019, people couldn't really afford DC. Now they're in PG County. COVID hits. They can't really afford PG County. Now they're in Waldorf. People can't afford Waldorf. And you got to take a plane, boat, train to get there. Where they going?
Wait, but you think Iverson Mall is far, so I don't know, bro.
Yeah, Iverson Mall. I mean, it depends where you're coming from. I mean, if you come... We're in Silver Spring. It's an hour to get to Iverson Mall right now.
And I'll gladly make that trip. For the Iverson Mall
move out where I'm at.
That's a
hike.
I'm gonna tell everybody on the Real Estate Wire Squad where you live, bro. At the very least, the part of the country that you live in.
Fauquier County, Warrenton, Virginia, 20187. It's just 20 minutes on the. It's down 66 West. On the other side of Manassas, about 30 minutes outside of Fairfield.
That address just sounds false.
When I hear about like White Plains or when I hear about
a long description, bro.
You said tell them where that.
I mean, about living out there, one accident. Like your whole day is gone. Like I got past 5 accidents getting into the city, and I'm still good. You had a morning meeting. Could we meet this afternoon? Like that's real. That's real.
Because that road that you are not 66 but Route 29 that you traveled to get to the vineyard.
Yeah.
If there's an accident on there, they will shut down the whole road. Now that road will run you Route 29. Like way beyond Fairfax, right?
Yeah.
But it'll run you also all the way into North Carolina. So it'll pass UVA all the way into, but I've been on the road late when there was an accident and then shut it down and the helicopter come land on it and the entire thing is shut down. I got a wild story about that, but I won't tell it today. But yeah, it is one of those like 2 lanes down, 2 lanes back.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place though. It's beautiful. Is. Like come outside and you see the mountains and just different feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We can do a DSCR on you and get your house out there. Yeah. And come out there and hang out.
So let's get into the real estate hot or not. You gotta do it with us, Isaiah. You have to say or not.
All right.
All the guests have to do is mandatory. You sounded really sorry. Here you go. Ready? You ain't sounding really. All right. Here we go. Let's get into the real estate hot or not.
Yes, great job.
There we go.
All right, got some would you rathers, and I got a special treat because of the time of year that we're in. So, would you rather sing karaoke with Gwen Stefani or Kelly Clarkson?
What?
Just work with me here.
I'm
going somewhere.
Karaoke, but
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say Kelly Clarkson off of the strength of his vouching for her. Like, I mean,
You ain't got her on rotation?
No.
Nah, I'm just
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm using a different criteria, but yeah.
You might have more fun with Gwen Stefani, but you stupid. But Kelly Clarkson, I'm rolling with it.
I said she's better vocally, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let. So next, get you in trouble. Would you rather be able to read minds or be able to predict the future?
Read minds because I can predict the future.
Yeah, read mine.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the group. Would you rather always have an annoying song stuck in your head or always have an itch that you cannot reach?
Annoying song.
I'll take the itch.
I think I'd take the itch too.
I always have the itch that I can't scratch right in my back every single time. I've just learned to live with it, bro.
Yeah, but that
It never
song
goes
thing,
away.
I can't do the song.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's the stuff that make you kill yourself.
I can't do it.
Make it stop.
Would you rather be Batman or Iron Man?
Iron Man.
Tony Stark got all the toys.
No. I'll be Batman. I'll be
You
Batman.
gotta like remind me of
Yeah,
Batman.
I'll be Batman.
Who?
You look like Batman, bro.
Iron Man or Batman? Yeah. I think I rock with Batman. Batman, yeah, he's one of my Batman and Superman, two of my favorites.
Iron Man will destroy Batman, bro.
I'm sure, yeah, but it's good for conversation. Would you rather go backstage with your favorite band or be an extra on your favorite TV show?
Backstage with the band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I go with the band.
Yeah. You know, Dan.
Yeah.
I'll go with the TV show.
Dan, you play what? You play
drums.
You play drums?
I used to play drums back in the day, man.
Oh man. Yeah, you had a band?
Did I? I used to be in a band. I wasn't a good drummer. I mean, I was alright, but I wasn't that good. It's like
mediocre. A go-go band or?
No, I actually always wanted to play in a go-go band. Yeah. I play go-go really well. Actually, I play go-go probably better. That was the first style of music, I guess, that I learned.
Yeah. Shocker.
Well, second was gospel, but then after that it was like go-go.
First was gospel, then go-go.
I mean, I grew up playing it, so then like my first genre was like gospel.
So that brings to a good question, though. Just about, I don't know what to say but all go-go drummers play the same.
Yeah, simple. I mean, and I'm not gonna say simple.
I rock with
like
it.
I mean, I feel like I'll say simple,
but they don't.
Is there a style?
But they don't play the same. It's everybody got their own
flavor and
little style.
It's just a
you have
little
to have a more discerning ear. Like if I listen to like especially when I was really into it, I could tell the difference between Junkyard, Backyard. Like I could tell the difference between Buggy and Smoke. Like I could tell Smoke is a conga player, but I could tell the difference between like a bunch of different. My man Willie, my man PJ on drums. Like it's a bunch of different. Like everybody got their own like little.
Yeah. I got it.
Do y'all feel like DC's losing like the go-go culture?
It's definitely getting old, man. We getting old.
I think they're losing it not because it's not. Well, I would say I think that you got a lot of rappers. People are trying to rap now, right? And just in my opinion, the rappers from DC not good. Like I don't know.
There's not a lot of good rappers.
I don't know any current rappers like from DC, like new rappers. But I mean, you got the Wale, Fat Trell, Shy
Wale's good to me.
What? Bro, this is
old
crazy.
Wale
is like one of the best to do it, like from this area.
Oh, okay, sure, from this area,
and like to be able to do this for this long of time. Like it's like what 10 years in, and like still making hits. Like
is he making hits though?
He's making hits.
I mean, he's like the Raheem Devon of.
That's a really good connection. he a local legend in a sense, right?
Lab ass nigga.
but when you put him on a national scene, like he'll blend. He's opening.
He
for
just
somebody.
performed at the Kennedy Center. Like
Wale's
dope.
He's an art
too.
too.
But the list is short though. Like for me, after Wale, I can't tell you. You said Fat Trell,
like, Shy Glizzy. You got some talent from this area.
You know what bothers me? There's so much culture. There's so much. Like, there's a sound that comes from here, right?
Yeah.
And they don't work it like they could really.
It's hard to take go-go national though.
But
it's such a local.
It is, but it's not like what stands out in art, music, movies. Things that are different. Not
So then I guess you gotta look at the market. Like Atlanta hip hop took off, New York, LA, everybody had their own styles of music take off. Go ain't really take off like that, so maybe the market don't want it.
True, but the time that when Go-Go was at its peak, pre-social media,
blow up like
pre-social media, pre-whatever.
Yeah, the difference is I feel like a lot of those other cities you mentioned, they had the infrastructure to support that genre of music. Like Go-Go was such a community, neighborhood-based type of music that like I feel like the with Go-Go dying out is like kind of goes hand in hand with gentrification, like in our area.
That's a good point.
You don't got people repping neighborhoods a lot anymore because it's nobody that looks like them. They not from there. It's not the neighborhood no more.
Right. Yeah. Go-Go was like, a lot about that.
Yeah. So it's like it's just I think that's a reason why one of the reasons why it's becoming almost like non-existent. Besides like the the original like Backyard, Rare Essence, Reaction, XIB stuff like that, but.
Who's your favorite?
I think it's tough too. Like, who's your favorite?
Man, it's tough. Growing up, it was definitely like Reaction and XIB. Like, that was like the soundtrack from middle school and high school. Then like now, I mean, they don't really play as much anymore. I don't know that they play much, but Backyard now is like they're consistent. They're still making music. Like that's
Big G. He in other things now.
Yeah. And then can't sleep on Black Alley too, because Black Alley.
Yeah, I've heard a few songs from them. They're nice.
Black Alley probably one of the. I mean, in my opinion, for the amount of people that they have, like they got their and see that's the thing too. See, they got their own style of go-go.
That's true.
So it's like I guess they call it like hood rock. So it's kind of like rock go-go, which I think is dope. I think like when you look at how hip hop was proliferated, it started in New York, then it moved out to West Coast, then ATL got on. Midwest go-go, Midwest hip-hop, and everybody was still hip-hop,
right?
But they had their own their own style.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things that I think really hurt the go-go genre from going national was really, no offense, but DC. Yeah. Right? Because we was like, oh, that's not go-go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not go-go. That's not go-go. When other people would try to put their own style, it's like, well, if it only can sound like our go-go, then how's the genre going to grow?
You know what's going to happen though, and I've seen this. I don't know if there's I think it's 016 Entertainment as the page I follow on social media on Instagram. There are, if you see like some local guys and girls that they put together a band, right? They just singing in local sports clubs or something like that. So you got the drums, keys, guitar, bass, vocalists. They got a set of congos back there, right? Congas, whatever. There's this. And I've seen it pop up in Charlotte. I've seen it pop up in Ohio. There's these other places, and they are bringing the flavor of go-go that DC wouldn't stamp.
Yeah.
But it sounds like go-go. It kind of feels more like some subtle thoughts, vibe band type of go-go.
Because even when Jill Scott tried to do go-go, it still wasn't like go-go.
It wasn't. You knew what she was trying to do.
Go-go influence.
She was tipping her hat. Yeah, she was tipping her hat to DC. Ty Tribbett, when he did the song like Got the Victory. Like he tipped his hat to DC, right?
Yeah.
I get it. Any song that you hear the Congress on a lot, we naturally gonna be like, oh, that's kind of got a go-go feel too.
So for all my go-go heads out there, let me be a nerd for a second. You have two different instruments. You have congas, C-O-N-G-A. You have bongos, B-O-N-G-O. There is no such instrument as congos. Congo is a country in Africa. Okay, good.
Sorry about that, go-go.
It ain't your fault. I learned that when I used to work at Mars Music. And this Latino dude was telling me, he was like, what's a conga? I was like, the congos, bro. He's like, it's conga. I was like, oh, conga.
Let me close this out. Last one. In the spirit of the season, concerning the Christmas tree, y'all go with real or fake?
Both. Real. Though.
Neither.
If I had to pick, real.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the smell, the smell.
We have a fake one. You say neither. Good. Candy canes on the tree?
Yeah.
You can still participate.
Neither.
You said yes?
Yeah.
Popcorn on the tree?
I've never heard of that.
Oh.
I've seen that. This is like a ghetto. It's like a ghetto decoration. They like needle it through.
I don't know about
When they can't afford to really get decoration,
Sounds
you put it on. Put it on.
it is
So-
very tedious.
Oh yeah, it's on like a string and it goes all the way around with a. We call it tinsel, the silver stuff that's hanging down. Yes, on the tree or no?
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's messy, and my grandmother used to put on. She throw it on there in little clumps and whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd fall down. I end up having to clean that on tree. Me and my brothers. A star or an angel on the top of the tree.
Neither.
Honestly, it depends on which one you find first. If you buy a new one every year,
you buy a new one. Y'all buy a new one.
Because we probably lose it, throw it away, say, "Hey, we'll get a new one" or something. Yeah. But if I had to pick an angel,
Okay. My wife put the star on it. If I show y'all a picture of my wife's Christmas tree, there's a number of ladies in our church that they love the decorating thing, so it's like extravagant. So my wife brings that mindset to the tree, and I used to be totally adverse to skipping holidays. We can't put the tree up before Thanksgiving. That bothers me. But as you are learning, and probably already learned, you can't fight every battle, right? So the Christmas tree goes up the week before the week of Thanksgiving.
This year,
you had to fight it this year.
I just put the Christmas tree up during Thanksgiving. Yeah, so so that's what I had to do.
So, but we have I grew up with this star, and it had multiple colors around it and shiny and whatnot, and we would always put it on. But now we just there's bows, and I think there's an angel on top of the tree now. But it's bows and all the things, and there's family ornaments and things like that. So, but that's all I got.
All right, last question. We like to ask our guests, all of our guests, this question when they come onto the Real Estate Wire. So, Issiah, where do you see real estate agents where do you see real estate and the role of the real estate agent 20 years from today?
20 years. Wow. 20 years from today. The thing is, technology changes things fast. And I feel like we've went through a very pivotal disruption within our industry with, the lawsuit with NAR recently. And at the end of the day, things are going to come back down to convenience, just like how people want to pull up their phones and look at Uber. I feel like it's going to be more so hey, this property's on the market, a buyer is scheduling it directly from their phone. They're going to access the property and they're going to be able to write offers right from their phone. Same with sellers. Put their market on the property. They may get a lockbox shipped to their house, and it's going to be completely accessible, convenient for the consumers to do it as needed, and not with regulated timeframes that we've put we've put on the industry, but that have become the norm of the industry at this point.
Dang, that's
bro. Ain't I been saying that?
Yeah, the way
I was having this argument with Nick Bush, if you listening, and Ian Ford.
You argue with Nick?
Huh?
You arguing with Nick? No kidding.
Rarely, very rarely. Every time. No,
Nick should have been a lawyer.
It was Russ Carr. You should have been there. We was at Nick's kid's birthday party, some of that. And I said that to Russ, Ian, this title girl, what's her name? Kim, and Nick. I said the exact same thing you said. I'm like, yo, it's all gonna be automated at a certain point, yo.
Yeah.
We don't use travel agents. We don't use haberdasheries. We don't use blacksmiths. We don't use milkman.
Yeah.
Like everybody, when was the last time you went on a trip? You just logged on the price line, bro.
So what happens to y'all?
It's good. We're gonna get a
They'll have the option to click. Hey, do you?
Yeah, if you want to use a real estate agent, and then that real estate, we'll be old and gray by that point, and we'll be sitting on a pile of property. So I'm not tripping,
right? But
I'm saying that eventually it's just the way that the world works. Everything gets ephemeralized.
So why not because the way that you're talking about it is like you can see it. It's almost like you've been talking about it and you're like, oh, we should do this and such. Like you say, we'll be old and gray. Why be old and gray? Why don't y'all start that technology now?
Yeah, I mean, that's laudable. I think that's the type of stuff that takes a large amount of capital. Which I mean, it's possible. I'm not discounting that that's a possible idea. But I agree with you on that point. Like,
at least patent the technology or something. The ideas and things like that.
Let's all three go on it and go in on that joint together.
You go front up.
Okay, well there you go. Let's get an infusion of capital.
Crowdfunding starts today.
What do you think about so this was an example I was thinking about. Remember how long you been in real estate?
It'll be 8 years in March.
So you remember when we used to call showing time and we used to have to talk to an actual person?
CSS like that?
Yeah, centralized showing service. Yeah, CSS.
Yeah.
Remember? And we used to call. We had to print out our list or look online. Okay, first I want to schedule 123 Main Street at 3:00, and then they put it in. And they'd be like, okay, next. Then I want to schedule 223 East Capitol Street. Yeah, remember?
Yeah, it's like why were we doing that?
Why are we talking to people?
Yeah.
It was annoying, bro. And now all those people are out of jobs. It's like nobody uses centralized showing service anymore. You can do it all with an app.
Yeah.
It's wild when you said the Uber, because I know we have talked about it. It's like, it can talk. I can talk to my Uber driver and knowing what time he's going to be here. I can see when he's on his way or whatever. In that same app that you're talking about, like buying, you can see, okay, we connect. I'm going to see this house. It hits the seller's app or whatever.
Right.
Then they can see, okay, where by location services, that person's on the way, that type of thing, and give you ratings and things like that. It actually like sounds a lot closer than 20 years from now.
Yeah, it is. Like the ball is already in motion. Like
what people always gonna need though, bro?
Hands.
Yeah, they're gonna need a place to stay,
and they're gonna need.
No, they're not gonna need real estate agents, but they will need people. So they're gonna need a place to stay.
Well,
so it's gonna move from let me get my license to let me own these properties.
Yeah.
You see, so that I can still provide that service, but the middlemen are getting cut out, bro.
But at the same time, this interaction, like me talking to my Uber driver, connect, and I parallel that to me as a seller talking to the buyer who's, wanting to come see the house, and I can see them transitioning. Unless they say that they're coming with an agent or what have you, that's really a for sale by owner type of situation, right? So that's why y'all will still be relevant because I mean, I know enough to hurt myself probably, or I can get a contract done.
Right.
But I need a professional.
I mean,
I need
bro,
to be able to
know
stuff.
No.
What I'm saying is
because
you have
you
the
used to need
option
to
of
learn. You used to need to know a lot to book a flight. You could end up in Utah somewhere. You're trying to go to Vegas.
I'm not just talking about the showing, but you can book a flight, but you can't fly the plane, or you can't.
No, you can't fly the plane.
You
can't build the house. The product is the plane. The product is the house. The person in the middle is the travel agent who's saying, "Let me buy these tickets for you. Let me make sure that your flight is going to show up at this time and that time. What time you want to be there? What time you going to leave? What time you going to be back?" Then they take the order and they go over here and tell the person, "Okay, boom, boom, boom." Then they give you your ticket. Where now you can just scroll online and go click. All right, I bought my ticket. So I'm not saying it's going to happen right now or the next year, but I mean you could just look at the trajectory, bro. Look at McDonald's. We went to Aldi. It used to be. Oh, you go to Walmart, like it used to be nothing but tellers. It'd be like 10, 11 tellers.
Yeah.
Now it's one teller and 6 self-checkout.
Right.
Target famous for that too. I'm like 12 lines, bro.
Basically, everybody was asking for higher minimum wage, and they just said, guess what? You guys do it. You're hired. Bring your own groceries up.
And pay for the bag while you're here.
Pay for the bag. Yeah, bro. Whoa. Thank you, Isaiah, for jumping onto the Real Estate Wire podcast. That's it? You got something else?
I was waiting for you to talk about
you had something on your mind.
I thought you had a foolish comment that you wanted that you had.
Oh, no, I couldn't find a comment, man.
You heard about the comments?
No.
You want to do a comment section? We can do a comment section.
We don't have to, but I just want to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
TikTok and Instagram, mostly it's TikTok. And Dan thinks it's bots, going back and forth, and it might be. But people on TikTok, when Dan posts his videos and whatnot, they're always commenting and saying something sideways. So Dan will respond. I tend to stay out of it because,
Yeah. But the purpose of engaging in the comments is for engagement purposes. Right, it's not to oh man, I don't like the comment section. All right, well,
so I didn't say I didn't like the comment. I didn't say I didn't like the comment.
Got a new comment on there?
Yeah, I got it. You want to comment?
Yeah.
I got a comment. I can give you is one. Okay, so this is one. Actually, I was going to say this one for Nick, but this is a good comment. Actually, you'll like this comment. So basically, this guy said, okay, let's get into the comment section. I had to intro it. All right, so this comment is from a gentleman who I'm sure this isn't his real name, is Kobe Bryant. This is for at Kobe Bryant. So this is in regards to Nick Bush's comment about Zillow, how they, Zillow's effect on the real estate industry. Mm-hmm. And then this gentleman says, when I look at this guy with dreads and a hoodie and bad grammar, I immediately think, quote unquote, very professional. As in, he's not very professional because he has dreads and a hoodie.
Who has dreads?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking
about... Well, white people, whenever they see black people with any type of hair, they just call them all dreads, even though it's not really dreads. He just had his hair braided.
About Nick.
Yeah. He thinks Nick has dreads, so he's obviously just a white guy who doesn't know the difference between braids and dreads. Yeah. But anyway, do you think, Issiah, that in order to be professional, you have to wear like a suit and tie? Is that the only way that you can?
No, I don't think you have to wear a suit and tie to be professional. I mean, we see a lot of people in our industry that frankly show up in shorts and flip-flops to showings.
How much volume did you close this year, Issiah?
So I'll end up around 15 mil.
You're wearing like some sneakers or something.
Yeah, we're. I brought the PG County with me today, so I got the New Balances.
You got the noobs?
Yeah. We should probably make this a thing on the show, but if your realtor does not have a pair of New Balances and they're servicing you in the DMV, do not trust them.
Wow.
That's a staple. Like,
now, can you wear 574s?
We'll make an exception.
Those are dad sneakers?
Those are like they come in all the colors of the rainbow. Right? They got to be gray, right?
990s, 993s, or something exclusive.
They got to be gray. You got to have a gray pair, or can it be?
You should probably have a gray pair. Right. That's just like it's like wearing Tim's in New York.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like having a black suit, a gray suit, and a blue suit.
Exactly. You gotta have the New Balances on.
So how did you close so much real estate if you don't wear a suit and tie every day? Because you don't look very professional right now.
Right now, I mean, it's all in the vibes. You got I don't believe I've seen a lot of people that wear very nice suits and don't know what they're talking about at all. We see it all the time, even on TV. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, but I mean, I do feel like I try to dress up most times. I feel like, it's, you want to do business with somebody that's, looking presentable and looking good. But the whole thing with, people having dreads and a hoodie, like that's, I don't like that comment at all. I'll say that.
What say you, Coach?
I echo that. I echo that right there. Especially the last part. I ain't like that comment at all.
But what's your overall thought?
You don't need to be like. You do not need to be in a suit and tie to be able to be professional. Like the outer appearance does not make you professional. Like what's here, like how you treat people and being a master of the craft. In sports, you say, you want to be first in the gym, last out, like be a great teammate, all the things, like those are things that make you a professional. And then the question is, whether you have a suit on or not, do people want to work with you?
Right.
Do people want to interact with you? Or do they run when they see you coming?
Yeah,
and
it's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's be real. I mean, the only reason that comment was said is because we know, like, the standards are higher for us in business. Like, there's a different threshold for us in business. The most people that I see that wear hoodies and shorts and flip-flops or showings don't look like us. And there's never comments made.
That's a bar. Another bar. All right, Mr. Kobe Bryant. I hope that answers your question there. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody that you might think is dope. If you're listening on iTunes, make sure to leave us a 5-star review at the bottom of our little iTunes page. It really helps us out in the algorithm. Where can they find you at, Issiah?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Issiah_Hazward.
Awesome. And where can they find you at, Coach?
At Fields Mortgage Group at Mortgage Coach Marcus.
And I'm Dan Wheeler Sells Homes on all platforms. Thank you so much for jumping onto the Real Estate Wire podcast. For all of us here, we are